handle it. I have 2 separate sign-in sheets. I will do one at one end and one at the other end. And these sign-in sheets are by division and area, because I figured you guys could handle it. For your divisional TLIs, before the first one, I will come up with a sheet that you can use at that TLI with the clubs in alphabetical order so that people can find them easily. Our trainer today, Ben Smith, has been working very hard on making the training engaging while using the Toastmaster materials. Please welcome our trainer, Ben Smith.
Thank you, Diane. So, who here is ready for me to talk for 90 minutes in a monotone and not have very much vocal variety?
Love it.
And just plod along and read off the slides. And I'm glad to see that some of you are already.
Love it.
But unfortunately, most of the officers that you're going to be training are not going to be up for that. So, we're going to go through this today and we're going to make this engaging as much as possible. And some of it's going to be review material for you, but we're going to try and make it as fun as possible. So first of all, we're going to give them something of value right away. We want to get them engaged. A few don'ts would be, do not give a speech or a lecture. Do not speak for long periods of time, and do not tell them what to do, which is hard for me because I love telling people what to do. But try not to tell people what to do. Try and lead them along through the training. Engage the participants, create participatory learning session situations, use a variety of presentation styles, media, exercise, and activities to keep interest. Change pace and activity every 30 minutes. So every 30 minutes, everyone's going to do jumping jacks and push-ups. I'm kidding.
Burpees.
Do that. Change location and seating arrangements. Use examples that participants can relate to with their jobs, clubs, and situations. Encourage participants to contribute their experiences. Use humor and keep everyone alert. Is everyone alert here today, even after you just had lunch and you're ready for a nap? Perfect. I love the engagement that we have already. So first of all, we're going to go through some stuff that we need to cover, and then we're going to jump into some activities. First of all, I want to go through the key dates for the second round of officer training. Whoops. First of all, I want to cover this because that's what I have first. After each training session, you're going to want to make sure that you get the Club Officer Training sign-in sheet to your divisional or your division director within 24 hours of training, so that we can get that to our trio, so they can get that logged in. So please make sure that you're aware of that. You can find the link to whatever sign-in sheet that I prefer to use on the Club Training D6 website /club training. Welcome to Officer Training. Train the trainer 10, 10, 15. Did that make you more alert? Perfect. More annoyed? Oh, that works too. Annoyed, alert. It's kind of the same. Key dates, December 1 through February 29 is the officer training. So please make sure you are getting trained. So if you look on your table, you have a key dates sheet that you can refer to while we're going through this. This is also going to be downloadable on the D6TM.org website. Attend the divisional TLI, make up club officer training if not attending a TLI, review club success plan. Now, I'm speaking to you today as if you are all club officers, whether you're necessarily a club officer or not. We're going to go through this as if you were a club officer, so you know what to train your club officers during your training acts. Review club success plan, which we'll be doing in a little bit, but if we want them to do that with their club officers, their team. Clubs with semi-annual dues, update officer information at Toastmasters International by 12/31. Do you know of a club that has semi-annual dues? Does anyone know what that means? No one. Okay, sure. Semi-annual terms means that we do already have semi-annual dues. It's semi-annual terms. Correct. It's where your officer team is only elected for a 6-month period. You want to make sure that you have that done for December 31st.
You have to be an officer for your
Correct. You do have to be an officer for your ALB for 6 months, but we do need to make sure that list is done for semi-annual terms before December 31st or the point towards the DCP. For January to March, we'll do your club speech contest. So when you download this from the website or however you get it, why don't you make sure that your area contest, your division contest are on the flyer, so when you hand it out, they already have an idea of when those items are going to be. So if you haven't figured that out yet, that would be something that you want to figure out, yes?
Well, I would just want to note that at our speech training in the fall, we had many, many different areas and divisions represented at our training. So in some ways, it was almost irrelevant.
Okay, I can understand that.
People could write their own
They
information.
don't know, they want to know from us. They want to know when their area contest is, even though.
Well, they need to check with their division and
Area director.
Yeah.
Or they could go to the d6tm.org calendar and find out there.
Yes. And that's what we directed them to do, but people, we had so many people who were from outside of our division that it was a little bit interesting.
Did all of you over there hear that? Okay. So mentioning that the club contest, area contest, division contest dates, I said that we should put those on there, but they said that they had a lot of people that were outside of their area, their division at their officer training. And so they wanted to know what they should do there. And they can either, if they don't know it, they can go to d6tm.org to the calendar or events section. They can find out their respective area or division contest there. So I would suggest maybe putting that line on there as well. And then schedule a club visit with your area director. February through March, membership contest, talk up Toastmasters, add 5 new dual or reinstated members, receive a member for your banner, 10% off Toastmasters order, and a special District 6 incentive. February 29 is the end of the second round officer training. Club to have more and more club officers trained in both rounds receive the Distinguished Club credit. Again, does anyone know what the Magnificent 7 is? Correct. Ellen said that it is having 7 officers trained for both sessions. That is correct. That's all 7 of your club officers trained for both sessions, fall and spring. February and April club dues. Club dues in February. March 1st starts submitting club dues to Toastmasters International. April 1st, deadline for club dues. These 8 members dues submitted by April 1st. Is anyone surprised that it's 8 members anymore? That should be common knowledge. It did change last year, but everyone should be. Thank you. I'm getting ahead of myself and not keeping up. Then April 29th to 30th, Spring Convention, Ramada Plaza, Minneapolis, assign proxies and not attending the business meeting. May 1st through June 30th, Meet the Club Membership Building Program. May elect club officers at the first meeting in May. Within a week, submit your club officer list to Toastmasters International. June, prepare your successor for a smooth transition. June 30th, the deadline for club officer list submission to Toastmasters International. Do it as soon as possible. Don't wait. Make sure that you get it in as soon as you have your election. So after you get done with the key dates, the next section that we're going to jump right into is building on achievement for continued success. So this is going to be your main portion of your officer training. We're going to do some activities. We're going to cover some ground on moments of truth, and we're going to cover some ground on club success plan. And we're going to share some best practices in a little bit. Who knows? Well, let's go through the objectives first. Identify and describe the key elements of truth, moments of truth. Evaluate the current club status of the club. Current status of the club. Construct a list of challenges and opportunities and best practices. Who knows what the moments of truth is? Anyone? Perfect. I don't want an answer yet. I just want to know if you know. Perfect. There's about half of you that know. So we're gonna discover this together. Can you wait? Can you hardly stand the excitement? Me either. So, first of all, I need 2 people that have much better handwriting on a flip chart than I do. Any volunteers?
I have a really good writing.
Perfect. Sue Ann, 1 more person. Mary, perfect, thank you. I would write on there, but I have terrible handwriting on flip charts. It looks like I'm going up and down and on a hill and sideways. It's weird. There should be markers right on the ledge there for you. Perfect. So, I want to know from those of you who did raise your hands, I'm going to ask that you raise your hand and I'll come to you with the microphone. I want you to give me 1 moment of truth. Raise your hands. Since you're right here and not on the walk very far, you're the first one, Cheryl.
First impressions.
We got the first one too, good job. So ladies, if you'll write first impressions down, please. All right, raise your hands for the next one. Oh, now I gotta walk through that.
Quit moving around.
Membership orientation.
Perfect, so my scribes would write down membership orientation, please. And you guys can take notes, but you're gonna be getting a cheat sheet of this, and after we get done with this, I just wanted to make you think before I gave you the answers. Kind of a pain like that. All right, anybody over here have an answer for me for moments of truth? No one over here. How about over here? All right.
Fellowship, variety, and communication.
Awesome. So the next one, ladies, fellowship, variety, and communication. Correct. This is basically a club visit report that we're just going through quickly over the moments of truth. Anyone else have another point?
Membership strength.
Perfect. Membership strength.
Achievement recognition.
Awesome. Achievement recognition. I have 1 more. Who has the answer for me? 1 person that I haven't called on yet.
Don't forget this side.
I haven't gotten anybody on this side yet, so I'm working here. But I'm not gonna run because I'll be out of breath.
Program planning and meeting organization.
Perfect. All right, gentlemen, if you please add up the cheat sheets for me. The last one was program planning and meeting organization. So if any of this looks familiar to you and you have not done a Moments of Truth module yet, it's because this is your area director's report. The 6 headings of your area director's report are the 6 headings of the Moments of Truth. There is a sheet being passed out to you that will provide you the information. And once those papers get passed out, we're going to move on to the next portion. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions after reading the 6 points under each of the 6 points about what the headings are of Moments of Truth? Who doesn't have one of these cheat sheets in front of them? Perfect. Should be good then. Thank you, gentlemen. Does anyone have any questions regarding first impressions? They're all pretty self-explanatory, but I just want to cover this now so we can move on. Perfect. Let's move on. So I need 6 volunteers from this side of the room. I need 6 volunteers from that side of the room. This right here is the delineating mark, and this is what we're going to subtract or divide the room from. So let's do the 6 from over here. This table, this way. Anybody want to volunteer? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not forgetting, but none of them are raising their hand. 5. And Steve, are you raising your hand or not? Perfect, 6. All right, you 6 people come up here, please. And you can sit on the chairs right now. Give them a hand. Thank you for your courage. It's very scary because you never know what I'm going to do. So, that's right, I haven't even laughed. So from this side over, I need 6 volunteers. Jesse, Megan Jo, Cheryl. I'm not leaving you out, Helen, but I'm trying to get some of these other tables involved, even though no one's raising their hands. You? Brian, you did? Brian? Okay, I need 1 more. Anyone. Right there? Okay, come on up. You were hiding behind the pillar. That's why I couldn't see you. Perfect. All right, now if we can please, okay, everybody can sit down here. You can go this way. Problem is, everyone does need to be able to see these flip charts because we're going to play Pictionary all play. So one team is going to draw here, one team is going to draw there. So because you're the closest, you're the first one. Because you're the closest, you're the first one. So if you want to flip the page over. Now I'm going to put the microphone down because I'm going to discuss our little game here with the drawers. And I don't want you to hear. I know, I'm not very rare. So what we're going to do is each side is going to draw from the cup, and then they have to battle against each other to try and draw whatever key point from the moments of truth it is that you draw. Now the thing is, you guys are going to have to be super creative because I don't know how you're going to draw these things, and that's why I'm glad I'm not participating. But yeah, that's why I didn't ask you before you volunteered. I told you I'm not very nice. So, everyone on this app, including people, well, yeah, the drawers can stand up and look over there. All of our great volunteers before we started.
Are these the 6 main points?
They are the 6 main points, correct.
36
No, it's just the 6 main points. So, well, just one, or just draw one. Then you 2 look at it. So,
Don't say it.
don't say it.
Mouth it.
So you technically can look at both of them. I would like you to look at your own, but technically, yes, I can't stop you from looking at one or the other. Unless you do that, then. Okay, so it's a war, so we're going to, when I say go, then you're going to start drawing. And so you guys have, it's one of the 6 main highlighted points. So are you guys ready? Set? Go!
First impressions.
No.
Recognition.
No. Oh, you did hear it over there. She did. She said it over here first. She said recognition. There was achievement recognition. So congratulations, team 1. Let's not say team 1. Let's say team.
Yeah,
the winners.
Team Alpha.
West, okay. Let's go Team West and Team East. So Team West has the first point. So the second person, please come up in the row. Just say what it is and don't show it. But you can show it. No, he can show her. You guys got it? Okay, go to your respective sides. And it makes it a lot easier because there's only 6 options, so really you can say all 6 of them, but try and like play along with the game, okay?
Minimum 30 seconds.
All right, so are you guys ready? Set, go.
First impression.
Right here. Membership orientation. So again, we have west side over here first. Are you sure? I could.
Arrow's on our side.
Okay, they say they have it first, so I'm gonna give it to them. Even though- That's pretty good. A North Star, that's a good way to orient. Good job. All right, for the next bunch of volunteers, please come forward. Okay, this time it's west side to choose the.
I versus B here.
Don't show them, show sheriff. Okay. To your respective battle boards. Ready, set, go.
First impression.
No.
Strength.
My goodness, you know how hard this is?
Oh,
Okay, I need 2 judges to help me here who's first and second. So, Harold, you're one of my judges, and Diane, you're one of my judges over here. Yes, you do, sorry.
Oh, Diane, stay over here, that's fine. That's fine.
So, this one, because I didn't hear which one it was, this one's gonna be a tie, so right now we're tied.
Oh.
There's no time.
There's 3 more, then we'll decide the.
Thanks, man, what a lot you need.
Have time.
Yes,
When you answer, stand up.
some people are standing up already.
Well, sit down.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was membership string. Oh, I see what some of you are doing, marking off the ones that are already done, and then we have 3 options. I see. Sure, but I want to make sure I get all 6. All right, so we had west side, left side, sorry. East side. Okay, so now Diane and Harold, I need you to come up here so you can see what it is too. Yes, because that would be helpful. And then whoever it is who hears it, you 2 yell out, okay? Whichever side it is, you yell that you have a winner, okay? That's what I'm here for. All right, you guys ready? Set, go.
First impression.
I'm sorry, but Colin got it. Because every single time he said first impressions before it started wrong. So eventually he was gonna get it.
What's that?
I think there should be a minimum. Yeah.
Oh, no. After this one, definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to. So Diane said that you're gonna have to have more than one time for each one. And so that is true. That would give us a little bit more mystery. And that's
Yeah,
true.
we just had like 3 extras in there, so I knew it wasn't the last one.
Correct. So we're actually going to, it's west side's turn first. Okay, Just a second.
Okay.
Ready?
Wait, you gotta turn your sheet.
Yep, turn your sheet, so you get a new sheet. Drawers. Did you get a new sheet? Perfect. Okay, ready, set, go. We got it. Over here, east side's got it. I did hear somebody say reference over there as well. I threw you guys a little wild card and put that one back in again, and now it's the one that picked out, so.
Can the next drawer turn our boards to someone who's see it?
Sure. I'll do it without being a drawer, but. All right. Drawer number 4. 5, sorry. I really can't count. Whose turn is it now? I think it's east side's turn. Good. Take a look at it. Harold's gonna come look at it. Don't show the audience. Okay, it's the top line there. That's what you're gonna be drawing. Got that? Be creative.
Let's go west side.
Okay, are we ready? Set, go. Okay, so
That's why we pay him.
there is one left, and right now west side is ahead. It is one we haven't done yet, so I'm gonna add some more back in. Which this game could seriously go on forever. Number 6. Who's drawer number 6?
That was drawer.
That was drawer number 6? I seriously can't count. We did, yeah. So,
We won!
yeah. Yeah, but we're just gonna keep it.
Just make it 2 there.
Okay. I wish I could remember.
Look at this one, they'll tell you.
Oh, yes, they will. Which is good because then they're learning. Okay, let's, you amongst yourselves decide who you want to draw next. You amongst yourself, who you decide who you want to draw next. But please don't jump up and down. There you go.
Here we go, I versus me again.
Aaron's like, I was trying to videotape this. I'm walking around.
Okay. Take a look. You know what it is? Head on over to your respective boards. So this is either for the win or for the tie, and if it's a tie, we're just gonna carry on and say good job, everyone.
Oh, boy.
Sorry. It's the way it's gonna be. All right, ready, set, go.
First impression.
We got it.
Yes.
And that's for the win.
Good job, everyone. Thank you to our drawers for being volunteers. Great job, everyone. If you can find a way that it's a little bit more easier to figure out who's winning, then please use that for your officer training instead of the way I did it. I lost my remote. There it is. So who here has already done at least one time the module Moments of Truth? In the process, good. So we have a fairly good familiarization with moments of truth. So we're gonna come back up here, and could I have my scribes come back up here, please? Sue Ann and Mary. So we're gonna answer these two questions for each of the 6 points. We have time, I think we'll go down time. I'll keep an eye on the time. So,
45.
sorry. Right. So, we're gonna write down, first we're gonna do the first impression. Can anyone tell me, why is this moment of truth important in Toastmasters?
Because if you don't make one, you don't get them back to the door every time.
Very good. So if you don't make a good first impression, they won't come back. Now I want you to think in specific, your own home club for these questions as we're going through them. It doesn't have to be, I mean, if you have intimate knowledge of another club, that's fine. If it's a club that you're working with, that's fine, but think in terms of your own home club. Think that you are a club president or a club VP of education or club officer right now. Yes?
I think that it's really important that we continue to grow as a club.
I think it's really important so that we can continue to grow as a club, improve as a club, maintain our current members, draw in new members, and continue to improve as a club.
So the first impressions helps us to, if we're cognizant of first impressions, it helps us to grow as a club. And does anyone have any ideas on how your specific club has acted on making successful first impressions?
We always have the banner out and the room set up with nameplates and ready for the club, but really at a corporate club, our first impression is often the posters that people see around, and they're always professional posters. They have the speakers for them listed, so and it has the most recent picture of our club on there as well, so that people often, that's their first impression.
Or getting the material out there so people know about the club.
In our club, we really stress that everybody needs to be greeted as they come in the door. We don't only greet the guests, but we make sure that every member is greeted as they walk in as well, so that everybody feels that welcoming.
Very good. It's always having them greeted at the door, whether you know their name or not. Just having them greeted and welcomed is very important as a first impression. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is membership orientation. Why is this moment of truth important to Toastmasters? So let me read the points for membership orientation so you guys have a better understanding. Formal introduction, including presentation of membership pin and manuals, assignment of mentor, education programs, and recognition system discussed, learning needs assessed, speaking roles assigned, member involved in all aspects of club activities. Why is this important in Toastmasters in your club?
I think this step really helps people hit the ground running. You're coming into a world that you don't know so well. You've got the formalities, Mr. Toastmaster, things like that. It can be new, strange, overwhelming. Setting up this membership orientation program definitely helps ease them into the program, ease them into the club, and maybe get them started participating early.
So these 2 points in particular, if you think back to the first time you ever went to Toastmasters, what is one main thing that everyone who comes as a guest to Toastmasters, what do they say? Boy, you guys clap a lot. And to have a first impression, and it's clap slap, but then they become a member, they have a mentor, and they explain the reason for clapping to keep it from awkward silences when people come up, to thank the person that just presented, to encourage the next person to come up. Those are all valid reasons for clapping. So it's not that just we like to clap and keep the beat, it's because there's a reason behind it. That's what a mentor and membership orientation does for your club. So how in specific has your club acted on this moment of truth? Anyone?
A lot of the clubs in my area do new member packets or guest packets, so they have the VPF give the visitor a folder containing a welcome letter, an agenda, or an outline of the first 2 speeches in their CC manual, copy of Toastmaster magazine, just branded materials that can help them get an idea of how to participate in Toastmasters, get them used to making their first speeches, and get them used to the process.
Very good. Anyone else have any ideas of how your club has acted on membership orientation? Back over here first.
So when we get a potential new member, we not only do we give them a guest packet and all of that, but we do follow-up emails with them. We ask them, we welcome them and we thank them for coming and encourage them to continue to come back. And then, we have included in that, we also send out a digital copy of the membership form and all their information and links, so they have everything. And then we follow up. The key is the follow-up.
Very good.
We just designed these brand new membership packets for our club, which we just placed there in our contest, and we found them to be absolutely awesome. They've got information about the history of our club. We put the Toastmaster Wears Many Hats packet in there. We've got Hiawatha Valley pencil in there. Just a lot of cool little things that we decided we would put in there, plus our 50th anniversary photo that we took of our club. It's a really nice packet, and we're going to give those to each guest that comes to our meetings. We are very loyal on assigning a mentor to every new member that comes to our club. We do the same as you do. We follow up with emails to our new members, which is awesome because sometimes they're a little afraid to come back if they're a little overwhelmed. Found it very productive, and by doing all this, we did gain some new members now. Thank you.
So you might be asking yourself, Ben, why in the world are you asking all these questions and all this and all of that? Well, this is because we want everyone to hear something outside of what they've already come up with and maybe want to incorporate that into their own club. When I first started Toastmasters, I only knew my club. So when I got to become area director or area governor, that was me. I was opened up to a whole new world of Toastmasters that I had never seen before. There was things that we did that nobody else did. There was things that everybody else did that we've now incorporated into our meeting. It helps to widen your horizons. So that's why we're going through this, and you can talk about that also during your officer training that you're going to be conducting.
When I was in District 24, a couple of the clubs that I had been in had a formal membership orientation with the Vice President of Education and then with the mentor, where you actually walked through, here's what the education program is, and here's how you're going to get through your first 3 speeches, and here's how you're going to go through, and this is what the education track is for your speaking track, and here's what the leadership track is, and here's what it's going to lead to, and all of that kind of stuff. And it actually helped with membership retention, not just attracting members.
Yes, that will help with your retention as well as gaining new members.
With my home club, we did the same exact thing that you just shared. But in addition to that, after the member was inducted and voted on and given a pen, we actually gave them a CC manual because we recognized that some learners are visual learners and we wanted them to read more about Toastmasters. And when they receive their CC manual, then they would give us the manual back so we can give it to the next new member.
That's a good idea. I've heard that from different clubs as well. Moving on to the next one, which is fellowship, variety, and communication. Guests greeted warmly, made welcome, enjoyable and educational meetings planned, regular scheduled social events. Members participate in area, district, and international events. Interclub events encouraged, and club newsletter, website published and updated regularly. So those are some of the different highlights in fellowship, variety, and communication. Are my scribes getting tired of writing? Sorry.
Oh.
Party foul. Are you alert now? So why is this important, a moment of truth important to Toastmasters? The fellowship, variety, and communication.
Again, people aren't gonna come back. You don't usually come back and do things that you don't enjoy.
Correct. Anyone else on why fellowship, variety, and communication is important?
Along the lines of people coming back, they need to feel value, they need to feel that they're getting value because, you know, we're all busy and we all, you know, want to spend our time doing things that we want to do. And so it's best when Toastmasters is a value add for people.
Very good. What are some instances where your club has acted on this moment of truth? You went over here, well, I'm over here. You're getting smarter. I do the one place where I'm at, and then I move on. Anyone over here on different instances where your club has acted on fellowship, variety, and communication? I got some over here, so what was the on over here?
In our club, we did a roast. We roasted our outgoing president, and we happened to have 3 guests. And because it was so much fun, all 3 of them joined.
Very good.
Some of my clubs have a theme for the meeting. Usually the word of the day is incorporated into that theme. And the Toastmaster in different roles has something to say about that theme to keep the meeting going. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Very good. Yeah, the theme does help with keep the variety. I know that a lot of times we'll have things that are upcoming, like the state fair as a theme or things like that.
My home club does an informal meet after the meeting. We actually go to a coffee shop and anybody who's available wants to do networking or more fellowship or share more about whatever can spend some more time together, get to know each other on a more personal basis.
Great. Social aspect of it.
I'm actually going to one up that one. We tend to go to a bar after the meeting. Other than the coffee shop. A couple of things that we do is each year we have a party in December before Christmas, and people come with their spouses and significant others and whatever else they might have with them. We have a golf outing in the summer too. And it's a way in which we get to know each other in ways other than through the regular Toastmaster meeting. It seems to work very well because people in our club tend to interact very well. And we have a club that has members that range in age from old people like me down to young people in their early 20s. It's a good mix of people that works very well.
I know I have more hands, but I gotta keep moving. So one thing that the social aspect of the fellowship, the golf outing, and people get to know each other more. And when I go, they get to learn that I'm as terrible a golfer as I say I am. So, moving on to the next one, program planning and meeting organization. Why is this moment of truth important to Toastmasters? Program and agenda publicized in advance. Members know program responsibilities, prepared to carry out all assignments. All projects are manual projects. Meetings begin and end on time. Creative table topics and activities. Positive and helpful evaluations. Why are these topics important to Toastmasters?
if the meetings are planned, it makes them more fun, and if they're more fun, people are more apt to come back.
That is very true.
If your meetings are planned, you look like a structured, stable group. If you're scattered, people find no benefit in coming back. So if you want them to come and learn and gain benefit, you have to be structured.
Got one over here.
Believe it or not, there are things that go on outside of Toastmasters. And some of us realize that other members have things after the meeting. So when they begin and end on time, you're respecting the time of other members.
That is huge. That is one thing that Toastmasters has taught me better, is to keep things running on time and making sure that you respect other people's time as well. Moving on to the next moment of truth, it is membership strength. Oops, I'm sorry, I skipped one. You're right, I did. Is there an instance where your club has acted on the moment of truth of program planning and meeting organization? Anyone over here? Over here, perfect. Let me bring the mic to you, that way you don't have to yell.
Thank you. I would say it's an education. When you go to Toastmasters, you go for the education. You may think you're going for a meeting, but I'll clue you in. You get to be my age and you are assigned different duties with family members, and you have to fight for that family member. Without Toastmasters, I would never have been able to do it. And when you act like a power of attorney for your member and the family, there are times you are so glad you joined Toastmasters. So I believe that when you go to your regular meetings, your district meetings, you are earning an education. And that's what Toastmasters is all about, and what the clubs usually provide for you. A basis to stand on. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. That is one thing that it does give you quite the education. When I joined because I couldn't speak in front of people, and I've actually not gotten any better at that, but I have had some leadership opportunities that has helped.
There's a couple things you can do. One of the former Toastmasters, Jim Holt, was in my club, and he was a former area and division governor at the time, says, the biggest thing is it's the cheapest college education you can get for Toastmasters. The other thing for variety and stuff is you can hold a backwards meeting. In other words, you start out with the evaluation, and then you proceed to and see how it goes. The good answer, but
Yeah, that would definitely keep the variety in the meeting. Is there a particular instance that you've done program planning and meeting organization?
I hope for a year with kind of the overarching theme of improving our ability to provide constructive evaluations. We found that the evaluations we were giving for our newer members were getting far, and our more experienced members weren't getting as much value anymore. So we had focus on it, we had trainings on it, we did the full 2-hour Art of Effective Evaluations workshop. We had outside people come in and show us different ways to do evaluation. And the outcome was that our evaluations upped and our experienced members got more reliable feedback.
That's great. That is something that I've noticed in certain clubs that we do need to keep working on evaluation. But really, you can always keep working and improving on any aspect of Toastmasters meeting. Moving on to membership strength. Club has 20 or more members. Members are retained. Promotion of club in the community or within its organization. Club programs varied and exciting. Toastmasters sponsoring new members recognized. And regular membership building programs. Why is membership strength important? Anyone over here?
Membership strength is important because if you have a smaller club, the same people are going to be completing awards time and time again. They're going to be holding the same roles over and over, and you risk doing or having burnout and people drawing back from the club. So rather than growing, you're actually shrinking.
Very good.
Kind of going off of that, I feel that increasing the number of members or increasing the strength of existing members helps bring new energy to the club, it helps bring new momentum to the club, and it helps the club undertake new projects that maybe it wouldn't have taken in the past. For instance, one of my home clubs is doing speechcraft, so we're trying to increase it. So we don't have an increase in the number of members, but we do have an increase of or we're willing to step up and take on a big project, and that's going to really propel our club forward.
Very good. That is always good that you can keep the members engaged that have been there for a while.
Through our speechcraft, which we hold annually, last year we gained a Dynamite member. She is currently our VP of Public Relations, and let me tell you, she has given us some incredible life in our club. She took it upon herself to be a real backbone for our parade, for our 50th anniversary. She helped organize the float for the parade. She made banners for the parade. She is going out in the public. She's been on radio talk shows to make the public aware of what's going on with the Toastmasters, trying to get people to come to Toastmasters, not just our club, but Toastmasters in general. And she has provided a real light for Toastmasters overall, and we gained her through speechcraft. So that is a real light for what speechcraft is all about. And we are proud as a lark to have her. You will be hearing a lot more from Lorna.
That's great. So we're kind of answering both questions at the same time with this one. Speechcraft has been mentioned more than once. So instances where your club has acted on moments of truth, but also why moments of truth, this particular moment of truth is important. Anyone else have an answer for either of those questions?
When you have a larger group, it really helps you to grow more as a speaker. If you're speaking to the same 8 or 10 people every time you give a speech, it doesn't really give you the opportunity to grow. If you can get a larger group, you can have a different audience that you're maybe not as comfortable with. And also it helps when you're making the agenda. So if you only have 10 people that normally attend, if one of those can't make it, now you don't have enough people to fill all your roles. So it gives you a larger pool of people to fill, so you don't have to run around at the last minute looking for volunteers.
That's correct. With the more people we can put on the agenda, the better off we are, because nobody wants the Ben show. All right, moving on to achievement recognition. The subheadings for achievement recognition are award applications immediately submitted to World Headquarters, progress charts displayed and maintained, member achievements formally recognized with a ceremony, club, district, and international leaders recognized, club and member achievements publicized, and DCP is used for planning and recognition. Does anyone have any reasons why this is important to Toastmasters in your club? So many hands all at once, I don't know who to choose first. Ah, hi Mary. The one that I have my back to, that's the one that's going to answer the question.
Why is this important? When you put your heart and soul into working towards a goal, it's nice to finally reach that goal and have everyone around you acknowledge the fact that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that goal and achieve something. For me, in my workplace, all too often, I don't get to achieve something final. Toastmasters is where I've lived in terms of just being able to finish whatever my personal goal is, and then just to get someone to say, great job, carries me a long way.
Recognition is important to members themselves, which in turn makes them want to continue on.
Recognition is also important for the club from the standpoint that some people have not been in Toastmasters very long. They think that competent communicator is the only manual. So we're acknowledging those people who have achieved their advanced communicator, competent leader, advanced leader bronze or something like that. It lets the other members know that there are more goals out there to head for and try to achieve than just the competent communicator.
Wait, there's more than just a competent communicator? 10 years and now I'm just finding this out?
When you recognize people, they tend to do more. So when they feel appreciated and they know that they've been recognized, they're gonna step up to the plate more often. We have a corporate club, so we do an end of the year celebration. And we have it where there's a podium and a whole nine yards, and we invite their managers. Because this is something you can use as part of your development and training plan, which helps towards your promotions and growth. So when people see that there's benefit in it, it really entices people to achieve. And when they get a triple crown, and they say, look at what I just done, what I just achieved, it makes a difference.
Very good. I'm going to take two specific instances how your club has acted on this moment of truth. One from this side of the room. Mary, do you have one? Or? I have fingers pointing every which direction, but I don't see what they're pointing at.
Yes, I'm going to go back to the very beginning because we sometimes overlook the first step that people take. That's their icebreaker. And I was in a club one time that gave a standing ovation to the icebreaker person. And I can't tell you what that did for that person. Another point is the third speech, because we lose people often before the third speech. When the third speech is, that's a good time to give them the pin.
Very good. That is one of my clubs does that after they've completed their third speech. They do get a pin. Okay. We're going to get from one Mary to the other Mary, and that's all we're going to have time for this one.
Just wanted to mention, a form of recognition is when a member is competing in a contest, to have other club members go in support of that club member, and to be there, if nothing else, just to be a cheering section. That is a form of recognition that I think is overlooked all too often, but I've seen where almost entire clubs show up for a person that's competing, whether or not they win, and it goes a long way to see that person's confidence grow.
Very good. After you get the two club actions done, ladies, you can go ahead and sit down. We're going to move on to the next portion of the presentation. Could we please have a round of applause for the scribe? So because we have a mixed variety of officers here today, we're not necessarily club officers, we're all different kinds of officers. We're gonna kind of do this exercise a little bit differently, but just bear with me. So on your table is Moments of Truth handout. It's a 4-page section, every table has one. It looks like this, except yours is black and white, mine's in color. I know, I'm sorry, I only printed one in color. So on that Moments of Truth handout, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take 2 minutes. We're gonna work through, first of all, I want you to look through the 6 different moments of truth. And I want you to think about in your own specific club, pick one of these moments of truth and decide what your club has done to make that particular moment of truth, the actions your club has taken, or to something that they need to do to make that moment of truth actionable. Did I confuse all of you? Perfect. So, I want you to take one of the moments of truth and either do something that your club has done or something that you would want to see your club do to make that moment of truth actionable. So, say first impressions, your club has done X, Y, and Z to make that happen, or you see a need in first impressions. So, these are the 3 steps that you'd like to see the club take. Does that explain it any better? Okay. Perfect. You have 2 minutes, so go. Okay, now that you've each thought about your own specific club, I want you to go and take, let's take 7 minutes, and we're gonna each share that one particular thing. So you have like a minute to share each one, and then after the 7 minutes, then we're gonna decide on one to share with the entire group on each table. So 7 minutes to each share with your table your moment of truth. Go.
Right now, they're supposed to be sharing amongst themselves the point that they thought of their own particular club. And then after the 7 minutes, they're going to agree on what they want to share with each of the followers and take this one back. So they'll be talk about it right now. Each person is going to talk about the moment of truth they're just thinking about.
Their own club, and we'll share one.
And then they're going to share one from that table, whichever one they think is the best.
It's fine to do that if there is. I gotta go back there. We were competing. She didn't even know we were.
Oh, that's
We have roughly 2 minutes to wrap up our discussion between each table.
Hold on. Be careful, they end up on camera.
Do you need your number?
Yes, I tried looking on my phone and it just showed up.
Site's down.
Oh,
Hold on,
okay.
I've got a spreadsheet here online. Okay.
So who's gonna be first?
Oh,
Control F, HALL, DOR.
I've got one.
Uh-oh.
Pamela Renee.
Yes.
Okay. 305.
Okay.
4549.
305-4549.
30554. Oh, sorry. 305-4549. You're good.
305-4549.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Luckily.
I spell it.
Oh,
Just trying to
there
help.
you go. Thanks, Harold.
Okay, let's wrap up our discussion, and each table, please decide on one of the points to share with the rest of the group. So whichever person's point you decide to have will be the person who will share the point. So we will start, let's start on this end over here, the east side. We are going, that's all right. We are going to, each table is going to choose one point that they're going to share with the rest of everyone. So decide on your table who's going to present and what point it is, and then I'll be back to your table in a second because we're going to start over here with east side table over here. So ladies, who would like to present their point?
I guess it's me. For our group, we focus mostly on membership orientation with the different clubs that are represented. We all thought that that was an area of improvement. In particular, inducting and getting a new member on board and comfortable with the new group. So we focused or talked about that. One of the things that I heard that I know one of my clubs doesn't do is giving a guest a name tag so they feel like they fit in. And also going around the room and having everyone in the room, letting the guests introduce themselves, but not just the guest, so that everyone, the guest learns who is there and you're a little more comfortable once you've been introduced. And then the last thing with the super valued clubs, I heard that there's a board outside here, the cafeteria, where you can list events coming up. I'm gonna see if we can make sure the super valued club I'm in, we get posted out on the cafeteria.
Thank you, Mary. So I am not gonna have enough time to do every table like I wanted to, so I'm gonna pick one more person. And I see all these hands going up over here, so Jean is going to tell us her point as well.
We chose program planning and meeting organization from the standpoint that we require all speeches to be manual speeches. And if somebody shows up without a manual, we get a copy, or if they're able to copy onto a piece of paper exactly the criteria for the manual speeches, because there's no other way to show new members and the existing members how to complete goals if you don't require all speeches to be manual speeches.
Thank you. So we're going to move right along, and this is the portion where we are going to look at the slide that says Club Success Plan. So on your table is a Club Success Plan. There's one for every table. It looks like this. Everyone see what it looks like? That is it. So I would like you to all take a quick glance through it, preferably all at the same time, because there are 30 pages there and it'll take forever for every person to each look at it. That is also downloadable on d6tn.org on the So the Club Success Plan was updated in April of 2015, and they did quite a few different changes to it. So I would encourage everyone to go onto either d6tm.org and go to the area director trainer section, and I will have it up there within the week. Or you can go directly to Toastmasters International and download the PDF out from toastmasters.org. I would encourage you to go through it, take a look at it. This is what you're going to want your club officers to complete. So it'd be helpful if you have an understanding of it as well. I do not have time to go into it today, but I do want you to realize that this is a portion of the officers training that you can shorten or lengthen as you need to for your officers training. They are probably not going to all bring their Club Success Plan with them, and I don't recommend having enough for 30 people because that's 900 pages of material that you have to print out. I would suggest putting on your event flyer to bring your Club Success Plan, but know that not everyone's going to, because that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So some things that the Club Success Plan that I would like you to think about during their working through the Club Success Plan is the following categories should be evaluated: team operating principles, potential obstacles, meeting protocol, team interactions, behavioral norms, education, membership training, and administration. Those should all be taken into consideration when forming the Club Success Plan. The Club Success Plan works off in DCP, which if you have looked at the Distinguished Club Program goals, there's education, training, membership, administration, that kind of all fit into the Moments of Truth as well. So keep that in mind. Questions to ask for the officers to ask of themselves while they're completing the Club Success Plan is: what is the goal you have achieved or are working toward? Why is your club working toward this goal? How do you plan to accomplish it? What does this goal add to the member experience in your club? So those are all some questions to think about as you encourage them to work on their Club Success Plan. So for sharing best practices for the group, or when you're doing your own officer training, I would encourage you to talk about Moments of Truth or a Club Success Plan. Maybe perhaps you can have like a panel of people that have already done their Club Success Plan or have already completed the Moments of Truth module already in this Toastmasters years in the last 3 months, that you could have a panel and they can ask questions about the best practices of how to go about doing it. For the sake of time today, we're going to talk about how to present this in best practices. So is there any questions that you have on how to present your officer trainings for this session? And I'm going to ask that the trio also answer any questions they feel they would like to answer.
Since you spent most of today talking about Moments of Truth, is that what we should be really focusing on in this second round?
Moments of Truth would be the cornerstone to it, but the Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan is kind of, so the Moments of Truth is your evaluation portion, and the Success Plan would be your goal setting portion. And the Club Success Plan would then be how you would execute your goal set. So they all work together in a line, but as much as you would like to add in or subtract for the club program, I would suggest adding in, since you can't subtract much more than I already did. But
what I would like to see, and I think people would find very valuable in a 90-minute training session, if you could allow 30 minutes for sharing best practices. Because at this point, they have some experience and they really want the best practices. So I would plan and adjust your time as you go along to make sure that you can allow 30 minutes for sharing best practices.
Anybody else have questions? Best practices on if you've already completed the Moments of Truth module, or things that you've done during officer training that have worked well? Wow, I hear a lot of crickets. So as I explained when I answered G, the Moments of Truth is going to be like a self-evaluation. So you're evaluating the health of your club. Then the club success plan will be your goal setting portion. Then through the goal setting, you also have ways to execute that. Any questions regarding that?
I'm confused. Okay, so we're supposed to do the Moments of Truth with our club. Then with the club, we establish a club success plan, which is different than our distinguished club success plan. I'm getting totally confused here.
That's all right. That's what we're here for, to answer the questions. So the Moments of Truth module itself is to be done with the club. The club success plan is to be done with the officer group. And then executed through the officer group and the membership of the club.
When you guys are training this, the big key thing around this is making sure that all the clubs know how to do a Moments of Truth and what topics to look for. Right? There's each of the categories around membership, club quality, things like that. Just make sure they know how to do it. And then it's up to them to go back to the club and make sure that they're doing it and do that Moments of Truth with the rest of their members. So that's one thing is training them how to do the Moments of Truth. As far as the club success plan, yeah, it is in a way the DCP or to get to President's Distinguished. And what are they going to do in order to get to that point? And I wouldn't always look at it as this is my year, this is what we're going to do, and then that's it. Especially for struggling clubs, they should have a plan, long-term plan, of how are they going to go from 8 members to 20. They may not get to 20 in 1 year. So having a short-term and long-term plan is part of their club success plan. Does that help? And that's what you guys will be kind of training, kind of what we covered here. Good job.
Pardon me, but I'm in a very small area, and all 3 of my clubs are small clubs, 8 members. How many members? 13 approximately.
Less than 15.
And another 11 members in the other club. Basically, everybody's an officer in each club, approximately. All 3 clubs have conducted Moments of Truth. And I'm training on Moments of Truth. This is definitely going to be a review for them. Would I not be better serving them to conduct the module on the evaluations, the effective evaluations? Would that not better serve my clubs, knowing that all 3 of my clubs have done the Moments of Truth?
Honestly, I think it's better that they have done the Moments of Truth, because then it can become a debrief. It would be better if the clubs came to officer training all having done Moments of Truth, because then they can share their practices on them. They can say what has worked and what hasn't worked. So it's actually ideal if the clubs have already done Moments of Truth.
It's a review.
Doing the Moments of Truth in the club and then coming to officer training would be a review and a reinforcement of a good club.
And if they're sharing their ideas, if you can get the 3 clubs together, again, that would be ideal, so they can hear, oh, that's worked for you, or that's what your plans are. I'll give it back to Ben to close out.
Thank you, Diane. I have time for one more question.
Craig.
Over here.
Thank you. My name is Craig. I'm a president of a construction club that was struggling for many, many years. For me, I see the value of the moments of truth because it gives guidelines, specific tasks, and steps that we take to gradually improve our clubs over time. So when I first looked at the club success plan, it was extremely overwhelming. It's even more about creating more course of people work rather than how can we learn. However, for me, I'm very much of this. For me, it was more useful to be, okay, what's our monthly goals? Work on one thing a month, and gradually over time, we'll improve that. But I think there's a lot of struggling clubs out there who don't know how to do any of the higher advanced things and just don't have the experience or strength to do everything that I'm sure all of them have done. So I think in any less world, I'm just doing things.
Diane would like to answer that for you.
I don't know if you got the last district newsletter that just came out. I couldn't see who was talking. Oh, okay. In the last district newsletter, Stephen Shaner had an article on working with lower member clubs. And there was even a little handout on moments of truth where you just take one or two things from each of those areas and work at them one at a time to start building success. Maybe you can't do everything all at once because it really would be overwhelming, but pick the things that you think will matter most. For example, manual speeches and having a great atmosphere for guests. Those might be the two things that you work on. So work on the things you think will matter most.
So from that, yes, Mary?
I just wanted to ask the question or pose it. We're here for train the trainer. What I'm not clear on is exactly what we need to do to train to get credit for having trained the second round. We've gone over the moments of truth and we've talked about different things, but I'm not walking away really clear exactly what do I want to make sure I cover during round 2 to satisfy that.
Okay.
For those of you that just came in for Train the Trainer, you might not have gotten the pieces of paper that outline the requirements and also the key dates. The same information is on the District 6 website on our training page as well. And I think we probably need to wind up here if you have a final closing statement. Well, thank you, Ben, for demonstrating and helping us with our training section. Have you signed into the club officer training sign-in sheet? There should be 2 sheets that have gone around. Is there anyone who did not sign in that needs to sign in? I will want to pick up those sheets. I will hand it over to Larry, and then I need to find where those sheets are.
You guys ready for surprises?